Welcome to the Professionally Evil Perspective. I'm Nathan Sweaney.
I'm Kevin Johnson.
So, Kevin, I have an idea. We've never done anything like this before, but I think it will be fun.
It always worries me when you have ideas.
Yeah, me too, usually. Some of them turn out okay, but you remember Slashdot?
Well, yes, I do. As a matter of fact, I do. I don't use Slashdot, but earlier today I got my weekly email from them of articles or something. I don't know, it's daily, weekly, whatever.
Like a newsletter, yeah.
And I happened to look at it, and there was an article that I clicked on. I don't remember what the article was.
That's what I want to know. What article was it?
I don't know, but the headline of the article was enough to get me to go, I wonder. And I clicked it, went to it, and was like, oh, that's dumb. And I closed it. And I want to be clear, I'm not calling Slashdot dumb. I'm saying the article is like, oh, I'm not interested in that at all.
Yeah. I still have a like guttural negative reaction every time I see a link to Reddit. Like, I've got the get off my lawn, you kids, with your stupid Reddit.
See,
like,
I actually love Reddit.
It's not bad.
That was what it was. That was the article. Some anti-porn group is trying to get Reddit to get rid of non-safe for work stuff.
Okay.
And what made me click it was two things. One, that I thought it was funny that Slashdot, a competitor of Reddit, was posting an article, right? Like that was like, oh, I wonder what the twist is on that. Like, I wonder their take, whatever, right? And then the second thing I was wondering was, because I use Reddit a lot, and the not safe for work tag does not mean porn necessarily, right? Like I actually just saw, it was so dumb. I just saw a video in one of the subreddits I'm in that it was like a goat falling off of something. You know, the goats that like you scare them and it's like, and they fall over, like pretend to be dead or something, right? It was one of those goats, and the person had marked it not safe for work. So you had to click into the article to see the video of this goat falling. And of course, I love those. I want one of those goats, right? But I would give it a heart attack because I'd be scaring the damn thing all the time, right? Like, I'd be like, ah! And, so I went in. So I wanted to know if Slashdot's article would talk about the fact that, you know, when you have somebody like, you know, the idiot in Georgia who's just loud, saying, oh, porn sites need to be banned, but don't actually understand that NSFW doesn't necessarily mean porn. But that's neither here nor there. I love Reddit.
So here's my thought. I think it would be fun to open up Slashdot, search for security, and just do like a 1 to 2 minute hot take on articles. Like just Kevin and Nathan read Slashdot. And rather than just hit a specific topic, like let's just kind of run through things and see what's out there. Does that sound fun?
Yeah, I'm good with that.
Awesome. I before we get into that, we got to comment on our user IDs, because I know it was a big thing for you young kiddos that you probably don't remember this, but us old farts were really proud about having the 5-digit or 6-digit user ID. And
I don't know if I was ever proud of it, but yeah, okay,
I was proud because I had a 5-digit one and I lost it. And later I got back up. I've got a 6-digit one now, but I think yours is like really low, right?
Well, I'm in the same boat. I had one way back, like when I was running Slackware and everything else like that. It's my work machine. And I don't know, I lost it somewhere. You know, and so back in 2002, when I started Secure Ideas, not the company.
Yeah, the name.
Because remember, Secure Ideas was the SourceForge account for base.
Right.
Right. I set one. I'm 108,000.
Okay. Yeah, that's just barely over 6 digits. That's awesome. Yeah. I found my ICQ number the other day. I was cleaning out I was going to throw away some old hard drives, and I wanted to go see what was on them before I did. And it was like my college backup drives. And I found my like ICQ and AOL Instant Messenger backups and all that. So,
man.
So anyway,
that'd be hilarious.
Yeah. So I'm on Slashdot.
The weirdest person I ever dated, I got connected to through ICQ. Go on, ignore me.
Oh man. All right, so I'm searching for security. First article I've got here: hackers hit Dallas city servers, limiting some police and IT systems.
Yep.
Yeah.
That okay.
It happens.
Can we stop talking about ransomware? Like, can that stop being a headline? Like, I get it, right? This is awful that Dallas is having this problems. I get, you know what I mean? Like, I'm not, right?
Yeah.
But do we care unless we're in Dallas?
I don't know. It's one of those things, like, if you don't talk about it, people don't realize how bad it is, you know?
Yeah, I can see that. But it obviously isn't helping people not fall for it.
That's true. That's true. I literally I found out during lunch today that a potential client that I had sent an SOW to a few months back, they said, "Oh no, it's too expensive. We're going to continue using the other vendor we used to use."
Which surprised me because we're not that expensive.
We're not that expensive, but they were wanting us to do a real penetration test, and their previous vendor just did like an external vuln scan and called it a pen test. And they couldn't convince the board or executives or whatever to spend the money, so they just went with what we've always done.
Do you really want to make this story part of the podcast?
I'm not going to give the name of who it was or their industry or anything like that, but they got hit with ransomware, and now it's like, oh man, that sucks. I feel bad for you, but
the thing I always wonder when people say they got hit by ransomware, and I'm going to talk about Dallas. I'm not going to talk about the person you're trying to sell stuff to. And I always want to know how far the attacker got before they encrypted.
Yeah.
Because you and I both have seen many cases where ransomware is on the way out.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Like
we got everything we could.
Hey, we got everything we want. Let's distract. Let's destroy the evidence. Right. And I don't know. That's not always right.
No,
obviously,
Yeah. I've seen lots of cases where it's one trick pony. We get in, we ransomware, we get out, move on. Yep. Who knows? Yeah. I don't I will ever know in a situation like that. But
anyway. Yeah, okay, that's first one. Second one, FTC proposes barring Meta from monetizing kids' data. I thought that was already illegal. Like I thought it was already illegal for a kid under 13 to be on social media without parental permission, and they weren't allowed to sell the kids' data. Obviously, I'm wrong. I thought COPA was designed around that.
This says the COPA rule requires parental consent for them to collect information. But COPA doesn't prevent them from monetizing that data after the fact.
Okay. Totally wrong then.
Once parents have given permission, they can use it.
Okay.
I mean, with a platform like Facebook or Instagram or whatever, how would you not monetize that data?
Well, okay, that's a good question, because in my head, I was thinking monetize, not the normal, okay, we have ads, we have this. I was thinking of it as when they sell the data to a data.
Oh, yeah.
Like
I can see what you're
saying. No,
saying.
you're absolutely right. I don't okay. The game system pays Facebook to allow them on the system. Is that monetizing the data? I'm a firm believer. This goes back to the same thing I always say. The minute the government is trying to be this specific, they're wrong.
Yeah.
Right. Even if they're doing it for the right reasons, it's when you start to make laws or rules in this case that are really, really specific, you're missing out. There's going to be so many loopholes or whatever.
Well, and I fall back on libertarian views on that point about it's really hard to do that right. You're like you said, you're gonna miss.
Yeah, I don't think that's a libertarian view. I think the libertarian views in this case match smart. And I'm not saying all libertarian views are smart, because they're not.
Yeah.
But it's just a specificity thing, right? Yeah. Like the minute you start, imagine with your kids. Like, did you tell your kids don't touch the stove? No, you told them don't touch hot stuff, right? Because you didn't want to give them a list of all the hot things. Now, don't get me wrong. Sure. When they went to touch the stove, you said, don't touch that.
That's fair.
Right?
Like, I never liked the stranger danger thing. I never taught my kids not to interact with strangers. Because
that's a good example.
In my opinion, the whole stranger danger thing has raised a generation that we now call, I don't know, millennials in that range, where it's like,
I don't know.
They're afraid to look people in the eye and have a conversation. And like, it's, everybody looks down. Nobody wants to.
I was never taught stranger danger, and I don't like looking people in the eye.
Well, that's different.
Yeah.
But I was taught, like, we've tried to teach our kids how to assess danger and risk. And I know you can't be perfect at that. They're going to make mistakes because people suck. Yeah. But anyway, next one. Passwordless Google accounts are here. You can now switch to passkey only. Passwords are dead.
Passwords have been desperate everywhere. Passwords are as dead as mainframes.
I love it. I love it. No,
and I'm right.
I like this. I'm a big fan of what Google's doing with the passwordless stuff. I think it's going to take a while for it to be ubiquitous
it is never going to be everywhere unless we give up all privacy.
Okay. That's a different topic. We could
that we could have an entire episode on.
Yeah, we could probably have a 4-part series on that.
This next one makes me so irritated.
Oh,
just from the headline. Chrome to drop lock icon showing HTTPS status. Just the headline irritates me. So I clicked into it.
Yeah.
Right? And here's what it says. The lock icon has been displayed by web browsers since the 90s. I always hate the connection is secured. No, it means the connection is encrypted. But okay, we won't argue that.
Yeah. Well, that's their point. I think.
No. Their point is that only 11% of participants correctly understood the meaning.
Yeah.
So they want to change what it means.
Well, they want to replace it with a new icon.
And no, they're going to replace what gets an icon. So they're going to have a tune icon. It says associated with settings and other control, and that it's around that the site is trustworthy. Now, I'd have to dig into this.
No, I think it's the opposite. The tune icon, which does not imply a site.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yes. And I missed the word not.
I think your point from the very first sentence you said that people don't understand what it means is Google's reason for saying there's no reason to have it there. If people don't understand what it means and they misunderstand it, they have a higher expectation of trustworthiness from the site. And in reality, I mean, when we send phishing emails, the domains we use,
HTTPS site.
We use an HTTPS site with the lock. So I get where they're coming from.
Oh, I get where they're coming from. I was just saying, I'm not saying they're wrong to do it. I'm just saying the headline started me irritated.
Yeah. All right, next one. ChatGPT related malware on the rise.
Whatever.
ChatGPT, AI, whatever. This is just saying, hey, here's something that's popular. And
there's malware associated with it.
Malware users are going to use it to get people to click links.
Yes.
Duh. I do think I'm excited about being able to use ChatGPT or similar models to help develop phishing attacks. And I say that from an attacker perspective.
Let me tell you, I love ChatGPT. If that hasn't come out already, I love it.
If I read another Nigerian prince spam email that is in broken English and poorly phrased and all that, that just pisses me off. You have ChatGPT. Go use it.
Well, don't be lazy. But I will say, you've heard my stupidity about math and phishing, right?
Math and phishing. I can't imagine.
You've heard this story. I know you have. So for years, back when I was at InGuardians, and even after that, I have enjoyed phishing emails, getting them, right? Like I don't enjoy getting phishing emails.
But it's,
oh man, that one was funny, right?
Yeah,
Did you see where they did? One of my favorite one was, it was from Bank of America. The subject line said it was from Wells Fargo, and the body said it was from Chase. And I read it. I'm like,
copy paste.
Is this I'm in one of those banks? So I'm
any of them.
What do you do, right? But the one that got me, and I would collect misspelling. I love misspelling. I love when I go into restaurants and the menu has misspellings. I get a kick out of that. And one day I got an email, a phishing email, and it was a phishing email. And it said it was from 5/3 Bank. And I laughed. And I said to my wife, Denise, I'm like, Denise, look at this. They got the math wrong. She's like, what are you talking about, Kevin? And Denise is way smarter than I am, except in picking spouses.
Yeah.
And she's like, what are you talking about? I'm like, look, they didn't reduce the fraction. At the time, I had never heard of 5th and 3rd Bank.
Yeah.
So to me, I read it as 5/3. It's a fraction. 5/3. They should have reduced that to 1 2/3. And so it was, for me, it was the first phishing email I had that had bad math, not just bad spelling.
That's hilarious.
But it turned out I was the one with bad math.
I love really good phishing emails. When I get one that I almost click on, or
that was a good one,
right? Yeah, there's been one time I clicked on it, I'm like, oh crap! I realized it as it was loading the site. I saw it flash or do something unusual. mad respects, right? Like I can respect your craft.
Exactly. Like, oh, that you took the effort, you tuned it. Yeah. Oh man, that was a good one.
That was good.
Yeah. The ones that irritate me are the ones that are just obviously crappy, and Google's phishing filter still doesn't mark them. Like it's like, okay, that was obviously spam. Why did you pass that through?
Yeah. All right, what's next? Promising jobs at the U.S. Postal Service. U.S. Jobs Services leaks customer data.
So if I'm reading this right, this was a scam site pretending to offer jobs they weren't offering that then got hacked and leaked all their stuff.
That's hilarious. Applicants pay between $39.99 and $100 for USPS.
Don't pay to get a job.
Not a USPS. Sorry, no offense to anybody who works at USPS. Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah. Okay. Microsoft Duo is in trouble. Well, I can tell you right off the bat why the Microsoft Duo is in trouble. Without looking at the article, I'm a gadget nerd, and I didn't even understand there was a Microsoft Surface Duo. So I love gadgets.
Oh gosh, I've never heard of this either. This is Microsoft's dual screen foldable.
Oh no, I had seen this thing. Yeah, and it hasn't been patched since October 2022.
When is Microsoft going to give up on mobile?
I said forever that Microsoft's biggest mistake was not buying BlackBerry.
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
If Microsoft really wanted the Windows Phone to work, all they had to do was buy BlackBerry and have it. BlackBerry already, the Bez server tied into Exchange, everything else like that.
Well done.
How at the time, years ago, how many businesses were completely BlackBerry?
Yep.
There's no way that Apple or Android would have been able to fight that in the enterprise.
Yeah. They were convinced they could do it themselves. And I mean, to be fair, I had a bunch of old HTC phones that ran Windows and all this in the beginning.
No, do not say something good about the Windows Phone. I had a Windows Phone.
Yeah.
And it was the most god-awful user experience I've ever. Here's where it was bad. Here's where it was bad. Text messages. It didn't know how to keep track of where the message was from. So Denise would text me.
Okay.
And it would start a thread. And I would respond, blah, 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 right? I'd get these back and forth, back and forth. She would respond to a text, and it would start a new thread.
Huh. I don't remember.
And I would go into that thread and do things, right? And then all of a sudden, her next response would go back to the original thread. And I talked to other people, like, is this something wrong with mine? Is this... Right, I talked to other people. They had the exact same problem.
Interesting.
I would lose track of this is an ongoing conversation because it was trying to keep conversations together. Right.
Yeah, I had.
It drove me crazy.
I had Windows phones for years with the old slide out keyboard. Before
I didn't have one that had the slide out keyboard.
So before the iPhone came out, this was 2005 to 2007.
Okay, mine was after the iPhone.
Okay. So in those early years, they were fantastic. It was, I mean, you could tether, it was the best of the best. Anyway.
Yeah, but I see the machine behind you.
Fair enough.
Your idea of the best of the best. I mean, how long did you run with a yogurt infected port? And for the people who think that's malware, it wasn't. One of Nathan's kids got yogurt into a Thunderbolt port on his Mac.
Across the table. He flipped a spoon or something or hit it, and yogurt flies across the room, across the table, and hits perfectly in the Thunderbolt port in my Mac. But it still worked. That port didn't work.
Yogurt will kill a Thunderbolt port.
Absolutely.
And I think it was 3 years before you had us replace that machine. You were always just like, I don't need that port. I got other ports. I got a hub.
It worked. All right.
Okay. Hey, can we jump ahead?
No, I'm absolutely talking about T-Mobile.
Oh, I didn't. Okay, I missed the T-Mobile one. Okay, we'll talk about the T-Mobile one, and then I got one I want to talk about. We'll wrap it up with the one I want to talk about.
All right, second data breach in 2023, but
it's May. It's May 4th. How can it possibly be?
Hold on, it gets worse. The 9th data breach since 2018. And this particular one included T-Mobile account PIN number, social security numbers, government ID, date of birth, balance due, internal codes that they use for customer accounts. Blah,
Here's
blah, blah.
my question: are they really separate data breaches, or is the attacker just continuing to get
maintaining persistence?
I don't know. I'm just asking, right?
I have said for a long time that if you're depending on SMS MFA as your primary, default MFA token, stop, because
yes,
stuff
I agree
like
with
this,
that.
I mean, there are use cases where, as a backup option or whatever, you have to.
There are absolutely reasons that you shouldn't get rid of it entirely.
Yeah.
But yeah. Okay. Last one.
Last one. What are we at?
Last one. We're talking about being old. We're talking about being, oh man, I'm on Slashdot. Sudo and SU are being rewritten in Rust for memory safety. Okay. Here's why I wanted to talk about this one. I'm actually going to click through to the comments because I cannot imagine that they are going to be good. Because you're futzing with sudo and SU? Okay, very first comment. It's got a score of 2, and it's marked insightful. What a bad idea to replace mature and well-debugged software with new implementation. Shows a complete lack of understanding as to how solid engineering works on the part of those doing it. Does decrease my level of trust in this to negative values.
To be fair, there was a massive pseudo bug 2 years ago.
That's the reply. Quotes mature, well debugged, and then links to about that.
Yeah. It's not. I mean, let's be clear. They are going to make mistakes. There will absolutely be problems.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's that bad of an idea.
I'm not saying it's a bad idea. So right off the bat, it does.
It's being backed by AWS, so it's not. Yeah. It's not.
My immediate reaction to it is, I'm glad we fixed all the other problems. Right? But in all seriousness, I kind of like the idea. I don't know enough about Rust. I know a little bit about the language and things like that. So I'm not making a judgment call on the technology or anything else like that. But I now, as the guy who will, scream with his dying breath about removing if config.
I was getting ready to say that. Oh my God.
I'll fight that one. But I kind of like the idea of saying, hey, you know what? Now, we have this technology. It's been running for a while. Let's look to see if we can implement it in a better language. I see nothing wrong with that. Yeah. There are enough people playing around with the various parts of Linux and Unix and whatever that, look, cool, try it, see if it works. And if it works better and is safer, because let's be blunt, wrapping code that is literally designed to make you run as somebody else, bad. So what did you see that's making you laugh?
I know you said that's the last one, but I got to go one more.
Oh, man. Okay, what?
Nuke launching AI would be illegal under proposed U.S. law. A group of senators on Wednesday announced bipartisan legislation, we're working together, that seeks to prevent an AI system from making nuclear launch decisions. To your point about, I'm glad we have everything else fixed. We got to stop the AI from nuking us all.
I don't even know how. Jackasses.
Hey, I got some ideas.
Wait, let me get this right.
Policy, education, healthcare.
I have a better one. I have a better point. Yes, all of those are valid. Everything you just said. Yes, fix shit. But here's my first question. Are they worried about the AI system launching nukes on the nuclear system that still uses 8.5-inch floppies? Because let me be clear, I am not worried about ChatGPT running on an 8.5. Is it 8.5-inch floppy?
Something like that. Yeah, I don't remember how big they were. That was before me, but they're big ones. I think. Can we replace Congress with ChatGPT?
I'm in. I would. So it's just 8-inch. So
8-inch. Okay.
So 5 1/4 and 3.5 were the two that I used.
Yeah.
Right. 8-inch was the one before that.
I got some 5 1/4 right over here with the Oregon Trail on it.
I am totally in. I want to propose a new law to replace Congress with ChatGPT.
Dude,
I'm in.
I'll support it. I'm back.
Because let's be very clear. I've gotten some really stupid answers from ChatGPT, some disjointed answers that you read and you're like, what in the world were you trying to say?
I've had the same responses to Congress.
Even the dumbest answer I've gotten from ChatGPT was more coherent and focused than a statement by Marjorie Greene Taylor. Taylor Greene, whatever her name is.
Whatever it is, yeah.
Whatever she says. And oh my gosh. We're worried about AI launching nukes. Yes, you know what? I'll be honest. I'm worried about AI launching nukes. Because I'm worried, because I live next to a naval air station. I'd rather AI do it than some of the idiots I've seen in power.
Yeah, no kidding. No kidding.
Like, oh yeah, you're telling me that Trump was totally stable. Oh,
I think they should rework the bill to say that AI has to be involved in the conversation before humans can launch nukes.
Right, I'm cool with that. I do. I mean, let's be very clear, and I will point out the article does say that the bill builds on existing U.S. Department of Defense policy that the United States will maintain a human in the loop for all actions critical to informing and executing decisions by the president. Okay, so let me get this right. We have a policy already. Congress people are just making a law.
They're wanting to codify it into law.
Yeah, because that's exactly, they fixed everything else.
This is AI is the big new thing that everybody wants to talk about. We need some press because it's almost campaign finance phone call time. Let's put out a bill that we can all agree on. We all get support. We save the children from the bad nuclear AI, and please give us your money.
So the next article is the DOJ detected the SolarWinds hack 6 months earlier than first disclosed. That's interesting. I'm going to read that.
That's interesting. Yeah.
But the one that's next is I know we've said this now. This will be the third time we've said this.
For that one, I'm going to say before we find out that the DOJ knew about it and didn't tell anybody because they were using it.
Ooh. Yeah. Okay, 2 more. I lied. The next one is Chinese hackers outnumber FBI cyber staff 50-1. No shit. But I bet you it's higher than that.
Yeah. I saw a deal somebody sent me the other day, said, hey, you should be like a recruiter on LinkedIn. Said, hey, the FBI is hiring. Come join the FBI. And I looked at it. I'm like, no. I mean, like, I don't know. There is nothing.
You know that I can't work for the FBI because I don't have a college degree?
It does not surprise me.
It's a requirement.
Yeah. Well, and the deal said, hey, we're hiring in Oklahoma City. But when you read closer, it says, we're hiring in Oklahoma City. That's where you get signed on. And then we send you to Quantico for 19 weeks to go through and get everything, like to train you as an agent. And then we send you wherever we want you to go. And you don't get a choice in the matter.
Totally great.
And
Kathy just pointed out we're both too old.
Yeah.
We're both too old anyways. You have to be 38. Okay, but here's the one. And the only reason I want to mention this one is because we mentioned it about SU and sudo.
Okay.
Microsoft is busy rewriting core Windows code in memory save for Rust. Rust is popular, I guess.
All the things.
And here's the thing I always find funny. Like, I have a whole bunch of cast iron tables that are part of tools. Like my bandsaw has a cast iron table. My table saw has a cast iron top. And Rust is the worst thing to have on these things. That's one reference. The second reference is, how often have we talked about technical debt? Because I don't know if anybody else has made this joke, but I am definitely going to make the joke. Man, that application's so old and out of date, it's rusted. Yeah. Oh,
all right. Well, I got to say, this went better than I expected. I think
we're doing this again.
Slashdot
totally doing this again.
Yeah. If anybody actually is still listening to this, and let us know what you think. Is this worth keeping? Should we do this again or not? I'm eager to hear that.
Oh man.
Cool. All right. Talk to you later, Kevin. Bye.